ESN TV coverage of the 12th Annual Consortium for School Networking Conference is sponsored by Smart Technologies, N Computing, and CCC Video on Demand, in cooperation with Cable in the Classroom and Consortium for School Networking.
This is Rich Kaestner. I'm CoSN's Technology Director for the Total Cost of Ownership and Value of Investment projects. I want to tell you just very briefly about those projects, and I also want to talk to you about some exciting case study work that we're doing in the value of investment area. First of all, total cost of ownership is basically a methodology to help schools understand all of the costs that are involved in the maintaining and care and implementation and so forth of networks of computers. And so it establishes a good base for understanding of where all the costs are and so forth. Although that establishes a base, there still begs the question as far as if I'm looking at technology projects, which projects make most sense to do? And what is the value of investment or the return on investing in computers for particular projects? And so now we want to look at not only the cost of a given project, but also on the benefits of that project and what it can do for the school district as far as what is important to that district. And since districts are not businesses, they're not necessarily interested in just saving money. They're interested in the education of our students. And that education has to do with things such as student achievement, 21st century skills, equity amongst the students and the population, relationships with the community, and some other things that don't have dollar signs next to them. So that is the essence of what's behind the Value of Investment project.
This eSchool News interview from the 12th Annual CoSN Conference will continue after this message.
CCC, the new leader in video on demand, offers the best in core curriculum content, not recycled television. Our content partners are the nation's most respected producers of educational media. CCC offers thousands of programs and tens of thousands of teaching segments, all correlated to state, national, and Canadian standards. It's education, not edutainment. For more information on CCC Video on Demand, visit ndmccc.com.
Rather than hearing about it all from me, I'd like to introduce you to Greg Davis, who is the Chief Technology Officer for Des Moines Public Schools, because Greg has both done an extensive TCO assessment in his district and is also one of the exciting new case studies that we're doing of value of investment, and has actually tried this on a project that they are looking at implementing.
I've been thinking about where we've come from in the Des Moines schools related to total cost of ownership. And as I think back, it actually goes back to before I even joined the Des Moines schools. I came to the Des Moines schools 11 years ago from a Fortune 500 environment where we were really closely involved in working with Gartner on total cost of ownership in the corporate world. And so I brought some of that knowledge, some of that skill set with me to the Des Moines schools when I came as their Chief Technology Officer. And so we've been dabbling in total cost of ownership in the Des Moines schools for about 11 years. Then CoSN comes out with their total cost of ownership methodology, and it really fit well with that interest that we had in the Des Moines schools to try to measure the cost of technology, the total cost. But that really only went so far. I found that talking about technology, the total cost of technology ownership was a good discussion to have within the technology ranks, but when I started to talk to educators about the total cost of ownership, a lot of times they'd get a little bit blurry-eyed and the discussion wouldn't last too long because they didn't really care about the cost of a computer per student. They were more interested in talking about the value that technology brought to education. So then CoSN comes along with the methodology for value of investment, and that really fits well with that conversation that we have with educators in our school district. Because now, not only do we just talk to them about the cost of technology, but we can also talk to them about the value that that technology brings to them in terms of education. And the measuring of the value of technology is not an easy science. There's still a lot of estimating and speculation in terms of what the true value is that technology brings. But just being able to have that discussion with educators in terms of the potential value of the technology is a great start. And it's based on the total cost of the technology, but doesn't have to stop there.
This eSchool News interview from the 12th Annual CoSN Conference will continue after this message.
N Computing's mission is to get a computing station in front of every student at every school. Our technology works by installing an N Computing PCI card into a normal desktop PC. You then take a simple networking cable and connect it to an N Station box. All you have to do then is install our software, a monitor, mouse, and keyboard, and you are ready to go. With the N Computing stations, you can expand one host by up to 7 stations. This means that effectively you are turning one PC into the equivalent of 7 PCs for a fraction of the cost of buying a new PC.
So Greg, the first VOI project that you're really looking at using the CoSN methodology as a case study has to do with formative assessment and the ability to provide better information to teachers so that they can provide more individualized instruction, should I say, with the students and understand where students' strengths and weaknesses are, which I think is very commendable. I guess my question to you would be how the VOI methodology helps you to get that point across to some of the district leaders.
Well, as far as the Des Moines schools go, our curriculum group does a really good job in working with us on integrating technology into the curriculum. And we have different curriculum initiatives that are either in the planning stages or well underway. And this formative assessment project that we're working with CoSN on in our case study is one of those types of projects. Our curriculum group knows that in this age of accountability, they wanted to be doing a better job of gathering data about our student achievement. And they know that just getting the summative type assessments that are tied to No Child Left Behind, they're not adequate. So our curriculum group has a desire to expand the use of formative assessments in our school district. But there are many different options out there in terms of different ways they could go in terms of expanding that formative assessment base. And so as we talk to them about the technologies that are involved in doing formative assessments, we started to get into the discussion about what was the value of the different options available. And so having the methodology and the CoSN tool available to frame that discussion has proved to be pretty valuable to us as we talk with the curriculum group about formative assessments.
The interactive whiteboard is immediately impressive. They have found an increase in student participation, and that is also translated into higher test scores. Synchronize is a classroom management product that runs on the laptops of the students as well as the teacher. Synchronize allows that teacher to effectively manage the students in a one-to-one environment. Bridget is our conferencing software. Bridget really becomes a very valuable tool for delivering online learning. The Centio student response system allows the teachers to present questions to students and allow them to respond and answer in their own way. The benefit of being able to go to one solution provider to get the seamless integration of all the products working together in that environment.